All right, let me make sure we're here. I don't know if we are. Suggestion? I've never seen this before. Hold up. My audio bit right now is over here saying it's bad. Alright, that's strange. Let me put that up on there. Boom. There we go. Give it a second here. It's not what I meant to click on. There we go. Boom. Dang it, notified you. That's crazy. Probably because it I changed it to private to public like last minute. Like he's here to react to it and get pissed off again like usual. I probably should have started earlier, but I didn't want it to come out. Like I didn't want to start streaming and like 3 years later it starts like super late or whatever. So I was like, ah, screw it. This since it's not premiere and I don't know when it's coming out. I was like, and it's not that big of a thing, so it's like the dev diary. Oh, thank you, W. Oh, you're here. I was ready. I had this thing ready to go. Beat me, but the XP is still bugged. Just give it just a minute here. I think this is about the track dynamic is what they said. As I just scroll through here, it looks like they're talking. I think 4 people. I guess we can start it here. Is that good? Why did that look kind of weird? Hold up. All right, let's go. Dev Diary 2 here. My God, went back down.
Welcome to NASCAR 26 Dev Diary number 2. I'm here with Matt Lewis. I'm Kevin Bobbitt, your host, and we've got a couple of special guests here. Mike Berg and Steve Reese, a couple of guys that work on the car physics, among other things. So it's great to have you guys here.
Thanks, Kevin.
Steve, why don't we start with you? You've been with iRacing and iRacing Studios for about 10 years. Prior to that, you were with a bunch of NASCAR teams. You got a lot of experience. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your background?
Yeah, so I came to iRacing in 2016 as a senior vehicle dynamics engineer from NASCAR. Actually, I worked for several Cup teams and spent most of my career with Team Penske, working with Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski, Kurt Busch. Came to the company to work on the NASCAR product, and then shortly thereafter transitioned into the dirt product and worked on various dirt products over the years until I moved over to work on the console products about 4 or 5 years ago, starting with World of Outlaws and then transitioning into NASCAR 25 and now NASCAR 26.
And
The
Mike,
night
you
looks
have
way
one of
better.
the coolest jobs, I think, personally.
Not
You're
lighting.
kind of the gameplay guy, right? Like you do the AI speeds, you work on the lines, you do all of the actual things that go into gameplay. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I certainly don't have the real world experience in racing that Steve has. I came essentially straight from Formula SAE into iRacing, starting out in the QA department, then working through some vehicle systems development, primarily with damage. Over on the iRacing product.
This seems so
before
random.
moving to the console side with NASCAR 25 and NASCAR 26, where I work through chassis tuning, vehicle setups, as you mentioned, AI speeds, and essentially everything else having to do with.
I think it's only up to 6 sets.
So in this Dev Diary, we've got a couple of big topics. First, and probably the most exciting one, is dynamic track. And I know you've worked on that a lot, Steve. Do you want to talk a little bit about what you've done on that and what makes that so special and unique in this product?
Sure. I mean, that's been a huge feature within iRacing for many, many years, certainly before I even came to the company, Dynamic Track. And that was something we wanted to carry over to this product this year in NASCAR 26. So providing a race experience that's more dynamic, where the track grip levels will change as you run through the races, as the race progresses, and you'll be able to choose different lines and widen the racing groove, providing a much more exciting, realistic, and dynamic experience.
So it's not just a visual thing. It actually changes the way the cars drive, right?
The grip levels are changing as the race progresses, depending on where cars are running on the racetrack. So you're going to have to search around to find the grip to optimize the performance.
That's half the fun. And I know this has been a hugely requested feature from NASCAR 25, so it's exciting that it's going to be in NASCAR 26.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great feature.
Yeah, and Mike, maybe talk about how does that translate to the player, right? Like, what is the player going to experience from sort of that first lap in practice all the way through the checkered flag?
I just hope it's not
You're definitely gonna notice that
scripted.
evolution,
I actually hope it's
especially when you're
dynamic.
looking at
That
the
makes it
entire
cool.
length of the race weekend. So if you start out running the very bottom lane of every track at the very beginning of practice, and you run that lane through the entirety of the race, you can do that, but you will be leaving lap time on the table. So especially, it opens up more options as the weekend goes on, is the idea. In NASCAR 25, we wanted to promote multi-groove racing, and so we made, to the best of our ability, every lane work well if you were driving correctly. And that will not be the case, at least at the beginning of the race in NASCAR 26. You're going to have to find out for yourself where the grip really is as you move through the race, as you work your way through traffic, try to get to the front.
So a whole new kind of strategy element that goes into finding your line, finding your groove.
Oh, completely. And especially in races, if you're competing online, for example, you are going to be able to
Dang, turn the
experiment
wheel a lot,
and
burn them
move
tires
away
up.
from the line that everyone else is running to try and find that speed.
To go hand in hand with that, you know, dynamic track is a big piece of it, but we've also talked a little bit about tire model changes and sort of this new tuning aspects that you guys have been really hard at work on making those changes. So what can you tell us about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So this evolution of the tire model that existed in NASCAR 25 is really designed to be a differentiating vector between users. So making throttle application matter more, making brake application matter more. In the past, you could really slam on the brakes as hard as you possibly could to get yourself out of any sort of trouble. In a real life, in a real life race car, slamming to 100% brake going into turn 1 at Watkins Glen is not a good idea. So you're really going to want to learn where the braking point is on corner entry, learn how much brake to apply, and then the same thing applies with throttle on corner exit. So you're going to have to find where that tire will start slipping longitudinally versus laterally. In the previous game, we had roughly half of the tuning parameters that we have
You can't
in the
blow
tire model for this
tires.
year. And we're working through using those to their fullest extent.
We've really decoupled the lateral and longitudinal.
It's kind of
behaviors
weird. I don't know.
from
This
the
is kind of weird.
like as Mike said, just the forces
So,
are
like-
separated so that the drivers need to apply things in a more realistic manner.
Be nice if
cornering,
these were
braking
premieres.
versus, you know, throttle application.
They could start 30 minutes early.
Is it fair to say that you're going to have to sort of relearn how to drive the car at the top? If you want to get maximum performance, you're going to have to drive it completely differently than in NASCAR 25?
Certainly, you're going to have to relearn how to drive at any track requiring heavy braking, heavy acceleration. So the short tracks, the road courses, anywhere, for example, the tracks where NASCAR recently changed their engine package for the Cup Series cars.
These cameras look nice. I don't know if
We've
they're.
reflected that change in the game as well, obviously, in addition to these tire model changes.
That's the 750 horsepower.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and you can definitely feel the difference, both in your lap times and just in throttle response, ability to make passes, that sort of thing.
So I think it's pretty exciting that you'll have to relearn how to drive because you're going to get more out of it. It's like a brand new game. But the question is, most of our players are going to be using hand controllers, right? So how do these changes work with that, and what have we done to make the controller experience better?
Well, the first and probably most important thing is we've given the users more options. So there will be more tuning parameters that the users have in their settings menu to be able to fine-tune their personal controllers to fit their driving style or fit what works best for them. I know for an absolute fact that the vast majority of users would not enjoy my controller settings that I drive with. And a lot of users wouldn't prefer using a controller at all. They'd prefer to use a wheel. But when it comes to the controller settings, it really is a personal thing, and we're allowing people to really get into the nuts and bolts of fine-tuning that this year.
And so, Steve, one of the questions we get a lot is like, what do you guys use when you're tuning the game, right? Like, are you a controller guy? Are you a wheel guy? How do you go about
Yeah, I
it?
think Mike uses both, probably, perhaps wheel more, but I tend to rely exclusively on the controller, and as Mike said, there's just so many options this year. I do think it's important to start with one of
That
our
setting he
solid
why like the
baselines
mid
and then kind
Ohio.
of tune it as you would tune a race car, which is generally one change at a time. You know, we always focused on that at the racetrack, one change at a time, so you know what is doing what, and you know, it's really the same way you would attack or approach attacking the controller settings.
Yeah, it's a good point, and I've brought this up before as well.
So
Going into
random.
those settings, you can get yourself in just as much trouble as you can help, right? So small changes, 1 or 2 sliders at a time. Don't go beyond that to exactly your point.
Just like tuning a car.
Yeah.
And Mike, we have improvements on force feedback as well, though, right?
Yeah, so like Steve said, I'm primarily a wheel user, although I do jump back and forth.
I feel like they got like
between
one guy for
purposes,
everything, and that's why they can't improve
this
too
year
much,
we've
because they got
simply
that
reduced
one
the
dude
freedom,
for
if you
everything.
will,
That's good at
as far
everything,
as
and
force
that's about
feedback
it.
tuning to really get into the deep code and make some pretty substantial improvements across the board. I think force feedback was one of those issues where there is such a wide range of hardware out there, and it is essentially impossible for any one person to be the control person to understand what force feedback settings work for the cheapest wheel on the market or the most expensive wheel on the market, the least powerful wheel on the market.
I can't tell
the
if there's
most
gonna be a
powerful wheel
free
on the
cam or
market.
not
In
in their
my office at
replays,
home, I
because
have a fair range, all the way from, you know, a 2 Newton meter gear-driven wheel, all the way up to a 25 Newton meter of torque direct drive wheel. And based on my range, I think we have found a default setting that is going to be great for the majority of users. However, we're still going to include even more tunable settings for the users themselves to be able to
I guess that
dial
could
in
be
their specific
true.
hardware.
And I think that's the key, right? Whether it's controller tuning or wheel tuning, it's all about the amount of time that you put in, because you have those extremes on just the wheel physically, how they're different, but then you have different preferences, right? Like, I'm gonna want something totally different than Steve and Kevin, and dialing in your own personal preference in that wide berth of physical.
I also just want to see. I feel like these camera angles that like I can't tell if these are gonna be like
What
free
force
cam or
feedback
not.
settings
Like these look good.
work for the
I mean, I can't tell because
cheapest wheel on the market.
I thought there wasn't. I thought they said that there wasn't gonna be like no free cam, and you can't like. But then these angles that they're taking here, I don't know what these. I don't know what these angles are. Is it like a swivel cam that goes around the car? That's what it looks like. Do that or something. Because he's like spinning around. Is that what it is? A swivel cam, and then night also, by the way, looks better than one. I mean, I spent so much time in graphics. It should be looking better, anyways. So, I still think it looks a little weird, but looks way better than 25 did. I'll tell you that much. 25 looked awful on the night. Honestly, this is kind of weird. I don't know. This is. Oh, they have train difficulty. Hold up.
The short story here is that the driving experience will be better for everybody, regardless of what controller setup they use.
Absolutely. Right out of the box, it's going to be better for you, and you have the ability to make it better for yourself from that new baseline.
So you just said right out of the box, it's a great experience, regardless of controller. But the controller is super important, as well as car setup.
Yeah.
So how can a player really maximize their experience?
Yeah, I think this year's version of
I guess
tuning
that could
is
be
just
true as
far
well.
superior
Using
in-
the editor tools. I just hope that like they're using the same type of cameras for it. I don't know. So you talking about two things, which is the driving and then the dynamic track, which I guess are two things that are the two most, I guess, maybe they've spent most time on, besides like the damage model, I guess. That's what he says, what he said. Most time on the damage.
in terms of your ability to go from being a beginner user to an advanced hardcore user and enjoy the game. You know, you don't have to be a super experienced driver to have a lot of fun with the game, but if you are very experienced and you want to dive deeper, the options are nearly endless in this version of the game.
Yeah, it's really all about that. It's all about giving the user options to customize their experience if they want to, but also giving them a good experience to start off. And like Steve said, you can really learn and grow as a driver throughout using this game, and even through something we haven't mentioned yet, which is the peak performance mode, which is a training mode where they can learn to drive.
Wait. Training so there's a difficulty for the difficulties. Turns a lap goal is peak performance mode. AI sets these goals. It's easy as well.
Something we haven't mentioned.
That's Steve Letarte and Jay McMurray. Do you pick? Does it not tell you what difficulty to use? It tells what difficulty you. Never mind. This might be mid. If it doesn't tell you what difficulty to use, instead you have to pick it, and that's what it told you. The one thing I thought they had good.
Yet, which is the peak performance mode, which is a training mode where they can learn to drive like me. Those lines are.
Got the. Get some lap goal.
My lines that I've run.
Maybe that's just a. Maybe it's just. Maybe hopefully. I hope. That's just for lap time. That's just a lap time thing. So it would tell you difficulty, but then it would also tell you.
So if you want to
maybe just change it up.
learn
Maybe,
how
I
to
don't know.
drive,
Maybe.
for example, Kansas, the way I have driven Kansas, we will teach you how to do that.
It's probably safe to say Mike has driven more lines or more laps than anyone of this game, I would say.
It's definitely.
That's a good
Bro
point.
picked a good track though.
Players will
Kansas.
grow as they play the game. You make out of the box, you may be simple, and I just want the baseline, whatever it's set at, and then as you become a better driver within the game, the options are there, right?
I think that peak performance tip is key because even if you do have a ton of laps, there might be a tenth or two here or there that you can pick up by watching what Mike has done, right? It might be letting off a tick earlier or getting back on it a tick earlier, depending on the track. Maybe using a tiny bit of brake where you haven't typically been using a little bit of brake to set the car down. Like, I think no matter what your skill level is, you're going to get some value out of it.
Seems so random. What the heck? It seems so random. You just watch a video and then
a tiny bit of
for a second it has like a circle thing here, and then
where you haven't typically been using a little bit of brake
it's
to
like,
set the car
yeah,
down. Like,
angle for this or
no
whatever.
matter what your skill level is, you're going to get some value out of that mode.
Yeah, absolutely. Seeing someone else try any task
So random.
is helpful to you. Even if you're seeing someone of a higher skill level than you, of a lower skill level than you, just seeing how someone else approaches a problem is always going to be helpful to your learning process.
All right, well, guys, thanks for joining us here on Dev Diary number 2. It was great to have you. Great insights on everything. Pre-sale is available right now. Early access is September 15th, and a regular access is September 18th. You can
Well, dang. They fixed the O'Reilly thing, by the way. It doesn't say Xfinity. I remember in the gameplay trailer it showed Xfinity. I honestly think the most disappointing thing is if this is if they did change this. If this doesn't tell you the difficulty and it just, I'm hoping that means like, okay, so there's a lap time goal. Seems like so there's a lap time goal that you have to hit or whatever it is. So maybe it changes by what difficulty you play it at, training difficulty, and it tells you what AI to put it at still though, whatever their lap time is, which it'd be kind of stupid. I feel like they should just keep it even and then it just tells you what lap time you put it at, but I don't know. Session 1, I think the session 1 is, I'm assuming what happens is you do more laps. I don't know. Features in the game itself doesn't say something. Well, it was also, I feel like this is kind of, in the game, this like setting screen. I never actually messed with this. Like, I don't ever mess with this ever, right? I leave all my stuff at default just because. It also, one thing that ticks me off in this game
You're going to notice that evolution, especially when you're looking at the
is
entire length
look
of
how
the
much
race
you have to
weekend.
turn the wheel.
So if you start out running,
That's like way too much. I think it was like,
R26.
looks way
So
worse.
providing a race experience that's more dynamic.
Like, maybe for Bristol, maybe not, but I swear on iRacing, you do not have to turn the wheel that much, and that
Where
just
the track
irritates. Like, right there, right before it cut away.
dynamic.
It
Where
cranks
track-
it, bro. Like, are we trying to kill our tires or something? Hello, Wyatt. It looks like you can only have 6 setups, by the way, which is so stupid. You can only save 6 setups per track. That's kind of stupid as well. What is their deal with not having, say, like, multiple infinite amount of save features? Like, it's not that hard. Just allow more save features if you have storage on your computer. Dang, that poor. That's how you be driving mine. You be killing them right fronts. Excuse me. Usually on iRacing, you usually wait for the car to turn, and that's all. If you want to drive on the right rear, you kind of don't turn too much. Leave it then, and wait for it to turn, and kind of get on the gas. You don't. He's using the wheel to turn. You don't use the wheel to turn. That's not how you turn. It's not how you save tires, at least. You save right front. Night looks better.
And then
What else? They were also talking about like other thing. Like they were talking about the dynamic. I think at least it sounds like the dynamic track is truly dynamic. I hope it's not scripted. If it is scripted, but we're gonna give it to them, and I'm gonna say it's not scripted.
through the races as the race progresses.
At least the way they're talking about it. Streams early. Yeah, streams early because you were talking about the Dev Diver here. That came out. I feel like, I'll try to stream it and see what happens. I think I would love to stream beforehand, which would like help, and I don't think it's the greatest thing if I do it right as soon as it comes out, or like maybe I give it a minute. I don't know.
And you'll be able to choose different lines and widen the racing groove, providing a much more.
It's really I think the thing is the multiplayer is gonna be better. I think with the dynamic track.
this weekend. So
To be fair, in iRacing, I don't feel it. Like I don't feel it in iRacing. All it does is you don't ever fill it. I just run the same line or whatever, or maybe not the same line, but I run the something. Tire wear. Tire wear is the main thing. When there's rubber on the track, you spin less tires, so tires wear less. Is it good? The Dev Diary? I don't think so. It was for. Probably should not. I don't know why I clicked on this. Okay, night racing looks better, but when you spend so much time in on graph, so it looks like they all spend all their time on a training session.
I think this year's
Is that
version of the game
Arca?
is just far superior in terms of your ability to go from being a beginner user to
Yeah, that looks kind of cool. Still no dynamic transitions though, even though we got the graphics have been updated. Yeah, looks like they spent a lot of time on the graphics. They spent a lot of time on the dynamic track. They spent a lot of time, like they could have spent a lot of time in everywhere else and spent less time on that, so they could have done more stuff instead of working on a dynamic track, which is probably hard to code, I would think, into the game, and actually add features to career mode and add multiple career mode saves and add like stuff to the like the gameplay. Like if like they could the time I spent for adding dynamic track, they could have probably added like 5 other things, I guess. Maybe, I don't know. That's what I would think. I don't know. Maybe. Like, I feel like dynamic tracks can spend a lot of time, making, if it makes it, if they make it good, if you make it good and realistic, probably takes a while to get it good.
An advanced hardcore user and enjoy the game. You don't.
I really do pray that these camera angles are in the game, because the camera angles suck in NASCAR 25. I hope a free cam is in there, really, but I think they said it wasn't, so. Anything else? Settings menu. I don't know what, like, I don't even know braking. Oh, kind of throttle.
Really get into the
But I don't know what's the point of adding the game, which I don't know. Simulated speed in 60? Damn. It's crazy. Simulated speed? I don't know what that, like. I guess if you're braking into from 60 miles an hour. What else we got? I skipped 25, so maybe more excited. Trying to think all these camera angles, all these shots they showed, because he's not bad. Game doesn't look bad. If you looked at if I went from like looking at Kevin, you probably actually are probably gonna be like you're probably gonna have a good time if you play it. If you skip 25, this probably might be worth it actually for 26, but yeah, we got fully simulated dynamic drag before blown tires. Is that what you're talking about? And I said that I feel like they could spend time in other places instead, because that's probably take them a lot of time to make it work if it is truly dynamic. Like if it is truly dynamic in same way as iRacing, just fast, it happens faster. But it actually is truly dynamic and where cars run, and it's really good at really good at on multiplayer. I feel like it's probably took them a lot of time to code into the game, and they could have spent elsewhere where they could have spent less time on stuff. NASCAR 25 is trash. So I feel like if you think that, it's probably gonna be you're probably not gonna like this one either. I want to say. If you think 25 is trash, you're probably not gonna like this one either. I would think, at least. I don't know. Yeah, it might look better. And graphically, it looks better than that, I would say that. Not too much better, though. Dude, if it... I hope this game runs better. It needs to freaking not run so bad. Anything else? Don't think there's anything to change with the setups. Looks like the same thing. Give you the same graphics were bad in 25. You don't think I think it looks better. I think it looks a little bit better. I don't think it looks a crazy amount better, but I think it looks better. Is that it? Like the night lighting compared to 25 is pretty rough on 25, and Also, they spent time adding the graphical things where the cars had like stuff flying on them, apparently. Not the looks. Well, yeah, I don't know. If you're not gonna like 25, if you don't like 25, you're probably not gonna like 26. I don't think there's a massive jump. I don't think for you to majorly change, because I think I enjoyed 25. I think it was a decent game, I guess, but it's probably probably gonna change my. Is it gonna be enough for me to feel the difference that I'm gonna have still the same amount of fun? And I don't think Kuruma changed. I think that's it, which sucks with the facility upgrades and whatever that is. Like probably not even much. I don't know. I don't see a big jump at all in the graphics or probably in the game. This
Off the
is
tip
weird.
earlier, or getting back on it.
Again, like just watch a video and just circles pop up for like 2 seconds. Mike doesn't see any improvement at all, apparently, dang. Dude, I'm trying not to be that negative on this game, and it's just like, oh my goodness. Everyone gave 25 a pass because, dude, people give games way too much like freaking passes, bro. It's like, oh my word, they spent, or it was only it's only the game, this or that, and it pisses me off so bad. Like, I'm pretty sure some games don't even require a second game to be good. Or add cool thing. Like career mode just needs. That's all. I feel like if they improved the career mode, maybe made the gameplay a tad bit better. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. They spent so much time on graphics. It's like. Plus the problem 22. They also need to like optimize it better. Holy crap, it's bad. Optimization for 25 is trash can. So they hope they can optimize that. What else? I mean, I don't know. Does it update? Not 25. I don't know. Not 26. I don't know why you're having like a stroke, I think. I feel like they should just focus on Karima mostly, and they don't think they did that at all. Like they focused on it like a little bit. They added only facility upgrades, which sounds like it's basically just like the same thing as they were adding as other things. Just like, oh, it's maybe more in depth, or it's like the same. It gives you the same boost, but just like different ways you get that boost. I think that's what it sounded like, or what my prediction is. We haven't seen it yet, so they've been hiding it, I guess. So unless there's something that they're gonna jump at us last minute here, we'll see. Probably not though. And then Dev Dyer number 3 here. You are optimistic, Wyatt. Yeah, I don't know. All I see is this game looking. Like if this is like I think this would be a good game. Like it'd be worth it probably if you skip 25. That's probably what it'd be. It's probably worth it if you skip 25 or you didn't play it or you didn't buy it. or this game's worth it going on sale. That's probably like the two reasons I buy it. Like, I can't use this keyboard without hitting the wrong key. If you were just like, I don't know. That's probably what's probably worth it. I'm gonna have to get. I'm gonna get it either way. But yeah. I can't use this. Oh. Well. Updates? Well, they updated the game in 25. They just stopped updating it to move to this game. That's the thing. Which doesn't mean they added much in this game. This sounds like a freaking. Sounds like more of a like a bigger patch. Like this would be a big patch here, like for a game. You know what I mean? Like this is like, oh, went from like I said 25.5 or what I saw someone say NASCAR 25.5 or something like that. That was what I saw. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see this game being very great. And we need multiple career mode saves. Hold up. Spelled multiple wrong. There we go. We need multiple career mode saves. Dang, two people said first. Then this person also said hello. It's 25 point version 1.1. No, this would be a version 1.2. You think there's 1.1 would be like, you know, the end of the when they updated it, but then now it's 1.2. Went up $5 or whatever. We need to make sure that we can get multiple career mode saves in the game. That's the one thing I will be happy with the game if they can get multiple career mode saves in there. That should not take them that hard to implement to a game that has probably at least like 20 people working on it, I would think. No, it only has 0.1 worth of features. I don't know if this is what I guess I hope it does tell you. Maybe it goes off your laptop. Maybe it has like I like the UI though. JJ the boss. The UI that looks fine. Can only compare this to in the options. The options look I don't know. It looks like the UI doesn't look that bad, but the option menu, holy crap, the options. The UI looks trash, bro. I don't know if it's like the colors or something. With the background or looks weird. Looks hard to read. I don't know. Maybe when the menus is better. The menus look better. I've seen that they've showed pictures of the menu, and I think I was like, okay, it doesn't look that bad. Looks a little better than the way I used to. It's the same thing. All these are just different, but put new UI elements and colors and stuff like that. Yeah, I want to see Kuruma 2 if they added anything. I highly doubt that they added really. Looks like a prototype. I think we're gonna probably see Kuruma next Dev Diary. That's my assumption. But we need a multiple career mode saves. That's what we need. And you guys need to, because we need. That pisses me off that there isn't multiple career mode save. Like I can't do a career mode like let's say on my controller and then on my wheel. I'd be like I can do two. That'd be nice. But I can only choose one. And then it's like, wow. They'll add the facility upgrades. I think that's it. I think the facility upgrades, what they mentioned, however, that's implemented, I think, which is basically just a new way it's gonna be. I know. I pray that's not, though. I hope that, maybe I can be a little happy about it if they had something surprising or something cool that they do not seem to talk about. Which I wouldn't be surprised. They'd be like, oh, they'd be highlighting the best feature because it's like, oh, they don't think it's important to people or something like that. I'd not be surprised about that. Can't drive for other teams. I feel like that's stupid. Can't drive for teams. Can't hire. You can't change. I feel like you should be able to change the player and ratings. I feel like you should be able to do that. And then damage the baby. Well, apparently that's what spent the most amount of time on. But you can't have tire blowouts. Your car's gonna look different more, I guess, or better. It's gonna look better. It's all about graphics. It's gonna look better, but it's not gonna change anything. The overall, it's gonna still be the same thing. It's just gonna look different. It's gonna be graphically when your car's damaged. It's gonna graphically look better, but it's not gonna change anything. You're gonna still have the arrow thing that they'll do on NASCAR Heat 5, and where it's like arrows 99% or whatever it is, 100%. It's not like accurate to the car like an iRacing, where if you get front end damage, it's tight. If you get back end damage, it's a little bit loose. You gotta lose downforce in that section. Here it's like it's just one overall thing, one overall stat. Damage not better. It just looks better. That's all it's gonna do. It's gonna look better. And it seems like they spent way too much time on looks on the game, and it's just NASCAR 25 and the crash figures are garbage. That's about it. I mean, these images are, I think that's cool. I don't know. So you can see, I feel like it's cool to see sort of gameplay, not really, but like these images, like the shots, and you can see how the game, I guess, looks. I hope the AI is better. I guess we'll see how the gameplay is. If the gameplay is better, then I feel like the game might not be too horrible, but the way the career mode works, oh my goodness. I think it's trying too hard to be like, do like Roblox collisions. Whoa. Yeah, that's about it. Like usual, these are trash. You have played games with damage. Nah, they seriously do. They have the worst damage than freaking Roblox, and that's pretty rough. Like, yeah. Well, they worry about the graphics too much. I feel like that's the thing. They spend too much time. I just feel like they spend too much time on graphics. And it's just, and then also it's caused the game to run horrible too, by the way. 25 was ran horrible. They should have been focused on making it more optimization in 26 to make it run good. I mean, there's plenty of games that I'm like, wow, this game actually looks really sick and it runs actually great. And then you have like, 25 just randomly. Doesn't even look anything special, I would say, and it be running horrible. No day night transitions, by the way. If you can do a 40 car field on iRacing without like, well, I want to say you having no problems, but those graphics are really turned up too, and I feel like it runs somewhat better than 25, and I feel like 25 should not be. Um, Again, this is what you would get in like a decently big patch. That's what you would get. Well, they said they want their own engine, which obviously it's Unreal. So I think but I thought they would have like changed it. They made their own engine, I think, and I thought they maybe changed it, but no. Yeah, I don't know how that works. I don't think that you can make your own engine like it's just the baseline or something. I don't know how that works. I don't really know. That's something I don't know how that would work, but um yeah. I mean, 21 ran it crashed sometimes, but yeah, I swear they said that they made their own engine. I don't know how it works though. Like I don't know if because I don't know if they probably went off of Unreal or something, or that's what they're off of. But I don't think they're. I think I don't know. It's like they worked with probably Unreal or something. I thought that's what they said at one point or something. That it was their own engine. Yeah, early access is on September 15th. What else? That's about it. That's it. I mean, might have been laggy and a broken mess, but at least ignition looked good. Okay, that's okay. Well, it might have been laggy and a broken. Well, ignition also looked good, but it also ran good. Like it did crash, obviously, but like whenever it first came out, but it looked pretty good, and it had day night just transitions. Oh my goodness, and it's just, I mean, but this game doesn't have any of that. I'll play this in the background, so it's actually just singer. They don't even have any of that. The game looks worse than Ignition, by the way. Alright, see why. It looks worse than Ignition and it runs way worse. Like Ignition actually ran. Bash it. Mike he's gonna be D1 hater on this game. And I wouldn't blame him. I'm gonna try to be a little bit more positive than him. So I'm probably gonna just enjoy it a little bit. I'm gonna try to stream multiplayer when it first comes out. And we all can all be there. 500 people, hopefully. That's the plan. Um, I don't know though. I think NASCAR. I think they need to just not worry about graphics. I mean, the game looks better, I think, than 25 a little bit. Like it looks, night looks 10 times, like probably 5 times better, and then day it probably looks maybe like a 1.5 times better during the day though. Yep. See how the cross-platform plays. Hopefully it's not too laggy. Um, we'll have to see though. Dude, Mike, Mike comes in here. Always is like always comes in here probably like somewhat optimistic. He doesn't like. He's like, but then he always like ends up being so pissed off at the game when he. Bro, he's always so pissed after watching these videos. Yeah, I I feel like it hopefully it doesn't lag too, but it shouldn't be too bad. Lag wise. Want to see though. For real, these devs mess up my emotions. They need to make the AI stupid, I think. That's the one thing I wish they could do is just make the AI stupid, like in all. Like they just run into each other. Or like you know how iRacing, like, dude, iRacing, there's so many idiots on there. Like, make them dumb. Make them dumb on purpose so they can wreck them. Like, don't have to do any intentional scripting yellows. Have the AI drive stupid on purpose so they do wreck into each other. I didn't think F1 even has that randomly where the AI are just run into each other. I don't think that's bad. AI don't have to be perfectly clean all the time, and they don't have to check up. Do they check up so bad? They check like one car spins and boom, they all slam to they at the same amount of percentage or whatever, and they all stop on the track. It's like that kind of is annoying. Have a stupidity slider. That would be funny if they added that and then the AI just like ran into each other. The more you go up, that'd be cool. I just hate that they always like if you have a crash at Daytona, the weirdest thing ever is where they all check up. I don't like that. It's so stupid. Like the NR, they just run on at each other and it's like, dang. They don't check up with the wreck. They don't. They just run into it. Might be a little unrealistic, I guess. But it's more realistic than what I would say. It's actually more realistic than what they got going on now, though. What they got, like where they all slam on the brakes the same. Because at least in realistic, like the real life, when there's a giant wreck, I guess in front of people, they all like check up. People check up more than others. Some people don't check up as much, and they run each other over. You don't get any of that here, and here they all check up like what 70% or whatever is that. Italian Decker Arca brake slider. That would be funny. That would be if it. But either way, the slider, like I don't want the AI to just run into it, obviously, but I also just don't want them to all just just slam on the brake the same point and at the same percentage, and they all don't run into like they. It's weird. Hello, Venom. What's up? Did you see the Dev Diary trailer? I could play it one time here for you, I guess. Since I don't know if anyone hasn't seen. I barely have some people, so it's like they probably all seen it and then they came over here. That's probably what happened. They probably came over here after the Dev Diaries. They watched it. It's probably 11, which I'm probably about to. These like midday streams that's during the day from Mike when we react to it is like not good for him. He is pissed off at these dev diaries and like we'll be done. We've done the dev diaries. So this yeah, that's what they need to do. They need to react to their Discord AMA. That was an hour long. Then we did their gameplay trailer, which was a yeah, sadly I won't get Nascar 26 rip. Hey, by 28, I'll probably update the career mode. By 2030 or by the NASCAR 30, they'll probably have like They'll finally add like AI player rating, silly season, and then boom. Don't think you'd be missing much, but if you got 25, if you like update a roster is really what the best, probably the biggest thing. Get the updated rosters. Last game Cowboys will ever be in. I do iRacing. Oh well, then you're good then. You click with me. You'll I do iRacing, Nascar 26, and Under Armour. Do all three. I don't I like them all. Maybe that's why I don't hate it as much, because I just enjoy doing it. I just enjoy playing it. I just enjoy playing racing games. That's why I don't doesn't have to be the best thing ever. But do I have proof of it? Yeah, we reacted to this gameplay trailer, then this Discord AMA, and then this one, which they do. You do all three. Yeah, but the thing is, the iRacing, they've spent, dude. They don't have to worry about the gameplay though in iRacing career mode. They literally all they have to do is spend the time on making the career mode, and they've still been spending what 2 years on it or a year or two. Dang, bruh. Now, if iRacing makes a career mode before, dude, their career mode's gonna be way better than NASCAR 26 because all they're gonna they spent all this time on making it. I feel like they spent what as a little, they spent all their time on dynamic track and like what else? I don't know I don't know what they spent their time on. That's damage, damage and graphics. The damage, graphics, the new thing, which is damage, graphics, and then you have the new gameplay thing where it tells you what AI to put it at. I think that's I thought that was, but then it looks like you just choose AI. I don't know. And then you choose, and then what's the fourth thing? I don't remember. Cause I know there's a fourth thing, and then I was oh, dynamic track. You think you would be all ready for how long racing's been out? Honestly, if they had to choose cones, bro, it would probably be just as bad. I don't think we'd need. It's not like. Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you. Dynamic track model. That's what I'm saying. So those four things. They spent all the time on those four things. Maybe there's some side other things, little side things they added, but besides that, that's the four main things they spent time on. I think. I don't think there's anything like they spent crazy on career mode this year. There's nothing crazy they spent on anything else. That's the four things that involves caution screens. Kind of cool if they send it to the back and then they don't have to. With the AI races, a career mode basically. It follows every series with the exact schedule. Did anyone else make it? I'm just kind of curious. I look at Mask 26, what pops up? Going. Oh, there's me. Dev Diary. They might not even pop up till dang until down there for Dev Diary. I feel like in this year though, they haven't added as much in the last couple years. They added more than freaking what added what you know, they added more. iRacing adds way more than what freaking Nash 26 adds. I'll tell you that much. I mean, obviously that's the thing. Obviously that's what they. I'm just thinking that they either have like one, like they have a couple people do everything, couple people doing everything at that game company, or they just have like one dude for everything. Like they have one dude for career mode, they have one dude for this, and one dude for that, all this, and all how it goes to all the things they'd have, and then boom. Oh, they have one dude doing the tire model. They have one dude doing the It's not saying anything, Bobby. I mean, I guess you're right. Dude, Ignition had more freaking updates than this, bro, from their patches. I swear. Dang, my dude can. That bird. Hopefully better subs for the car. Well, can't blow a tire. Can't, I think you would, the best way to do it in this game was weird. It was like lower all tire pressures and then, like there's nothing special to it. There's just lower all the tire pressures and then maybe if you lower the wedge if you want to make it turn better. I think that's what it was. Crew mode for NH 3 than these lately NASCAR games. They have more than one. They hire people just to do 25. Well, I'm not saying they have one person make it. I'm just saying they have one person for like career mode and then one person for like the tire model or the physics or something. They have one dude doing that. They have one person doing the AI, like all that. Or they have one person doing the AI and then tire model, and they have like well, I don't know how big their actual team is. Like, I think I don't know. Mike said that they might have one dude like doing a lot of other things or something. That's probably they should. There should be like a dedicated people, like at least like 5 or 10 people working on career mode though. That's like the biggest feature. That's the best thing that they could do and make it better. And they like made it what? Added facility upgrades. Swap teams and I'll be happy. Give me multiple career mode saves and I'll be happy. I'll be happy if we get multiple career mode saves. I just want multiple career mode saves. I don't like having only one. I want to have a save for my wheel and I want to have a save for my controller, and then if I want to make a random video on career mode, I can do that. I can't do like, oh, see if I can win a championship at the easiest without spending any money on my car. I guess it'd be impossible, I feel like, but I know they did that on, someone did that on NASCAR Thunder or whatever it is. I couldn't do that though on NASCAR 25 because you can't have multiple career modes without running. Do you race road and iRacing? Not, I'm not good at it. I am usually better in my, if I was the next gen, I'm probably like a 3K on road or like a stock car. But then besides that, I'm like probably 2K best. Everything people actually, they didn't actually add. I'm gonna keep commenting on their videos. We'll add multiple career mode saves until they end up either responding to what I said or they add it. So it's gonna come into one of these games. We're gonna get it. If they listen to all this community about all these burnouts. Oh, I forgot about burnouts. Dude, never mind, bro. The game's goated. Never mind. They added burnouts. I forgot about that. They could put, dude, burnouts I forgot about already, but that was the best feature they added all day. Never mind. So, burnouts is you must be starting young on iRacing. It's about where you start, 1300. I just loaded it. You just started. I'm at okay, 3 point. Do you run much oval? Is that what you do? I do a bunch of oval. I just do oval mainly. Burnouts do not matter. Well, you know how you know they don't matter. You know how they don't matter, Mike, is that was their selling point for the first like month or so or week or when they first started promoting the game, and then when they realized no one cares about it, they like, all right, well, we gotta, or like no, not like no one cares about it, but it's like they realized it wasn't like that big of a feature. They could not keep promoting, like that was their thing that they kept like doing, and it was like they switched their like promoting Because I haven't seen anything about burnouts really since like the gameplay. Like they've had a dev diary, they've had multiple screenshots, I think, and then they have had like the dev diary right here, and I don't. Obviously, you can't just talk about the burnouts, obviously, since that's not the only thing I got. Well. But I just feel like that was like their major thing, and like like Madden, they really make you like know what they added. They try to make you think they added a lot. At least it seems like they do. Or no, they bring back features that they took out. But at least it's like something. You know what I mean? It's actually something like actually, alright, that's not bad. Even though I guess taken out like 5 games later. You could blow tires in NASCAR Racing 1994, by the way. Dang. Mike had to come pull out that stat out of his butt. He had looked it up on ChatGPT just to see that. He used ChatGPT so he can like, what was the first NASCAR game that had blowouts? And DNF. They can get DNF in that game? Well, no, Mike, remember you can DNF in this game. If you hit the wall hard enough and you think you should DNF, you can go and pause the menu and you can DNF you can retire. Even though you can or you can repair your damage and you'll be back to being fine. Remember, Mike? Yeah. You can DNF. You can just retire from the menu, or you could repair damage in like 10 seconds. So, lose like no time. Alright, well, it's 11. I'm probably gonna have to, yeah, player DNFs. They added, AI DNFs, but they did add player. They basically just need to add the feature where if you wreck hard enough, you card DNFs. Like if you flip, maybe like they could have done something where if you flipped, oh, your card DNFs or something. Because most of the time you're not gonna. I just don't know why they can't. I feel like they hit the wall hard enough, maybe. It can't be that hard because they already implemented the player DNFing. So all you had to do was just have a thing that enabled that from happening, like a blown tire. If damage over 50% DNF online account. Yeah, actually, yeah, that's the best way to do it. And if you don't want DNFs, then you can turn it off. Or you can do it with iRacing where you have wheel damage and boom, if you have enough wheel damage, you can't fix it. I don't like how it's like just one click of a button and boom, your car's fine. It's kind of stupid. And it's just like, oh, well, I'll just barrel into the next corner either way. I'll just keep going. Come on now. Till I cause another wreck and then I keep going on. Boom. You add the damage thing so you can DNF, and then if you don't want DNFs, add a setting to it. It's not that hard. I don't know. I just don't get people complaining about other people complaining. That kind of pisses me off that people are always like, why are you always like, eh. You know how many people I've made short and it was like, oh yeah, give like NASCAR 05 and 07 a chance. I think I want to see what you think of the career mode. I think I played 05 one time. It was a long time ago on the emulator. Maybe if I did it, I'd make a video on it. Maybe if I did that. I hear being real rabid now, playing all the old games. It's probably back in his day. I don't even play that. He's like, oh yeah, that's the best game ever. Bro, wait until like they stop like. Well, no, that's not gonna happen. This is gonna be the for a while. Iris is gonna be the now, because I would say, oh, wait till they lose the license, and then someone else in the real ramen just talking crap about these games, and it's like, oh yeah, this game is garbage. But like this game, we're not. Iris is not gonna lose the license, and because it's a stable company. It's not like a company that is like going under, or like iRacing's here to stay. Basically, I would think. I think so. So back in my day, NASCAR didn't exist, according to you. Bro, Real Rabbit, like, he's already balding, bro. Like, he's already like getting. I think he's over 30 or something. Rip. He also makes like these long videos too. His videos are way too long. Let's see if anyone's made their dev diary about. There's Micro Merch. Oh, dang! Micro Merch made a 2-minute video, and then look at that comparison right there. Bang, 28 minutes. The problem is that the license is exclusive. Yeah. That's why he always gets his out videos first, is because he doesn't. That's because he doesn't, because he doesn't edit it. He just posts it. He just, like, talks about it for a second, and then boom. 175. Holy crap. Instantly. This one, I don't think people really cared about those. Like, Dev Diary, people don't really care about. So I'm surprised this one did not that great. This one's only at 84 views. So whatever. My last stream did better, which I guess that last stream was like 5 hours long, but still. Goins always like middle. He always edits it. Dude, that's crazy. Micro Merce made like a 2-minute video of it. That's crazy. That's probably the smart thing to do. Just talk about it for a second, show it off. But he doesn't like. Micro Merce doesn't like care. He doesn't care enough to have like a major opinion on it. That's probably why he doesn't care if it's bad or not. He's just like, I'll play either way. Cause he'll play like all these games. He'll play Wreckfest. He'll play all of them. Huge Bristol update. What the heck is he talking about? Yeah. But all these other content creators are scared to talk about each other. It's kind of funny. Like, I think they were like talking about ramen and going or whatever, and they were like scared. They're like, this guy, some dude made a 28-minute or 38-minute video talking about the gameplay trailer. Some dude. I'm like, that's kind of strange. I don't know. That's gonna be it though. This is a way too long. Way too long. Spent way too much time complaining. Mike is probably sick of these these live streams I do because it just pisses him off. Pisses me off too. And it's like I don't want to be really that negative too, but it's just like nothing to work with here. Nothing to work with. That's new. Like there's then dynamic track, but like thing is dynamic track. Nobody casual cares about that. That's the thing. That's crazy that they worry about it. No one casual cares about the freaking dynamic track. So I don't know why they're worried about that. Like graphics, all right, that makes sense. The training session, all right, kind of. But why dynamic track? That's the strange thing. Why did they add that? It's not needed in a game like this. but they want to be iRacing, but not make it iRacing. I don't know. They want to make it iRacing like for the consoles, but not make it like they've said that they. That's what I'm saying, and nobody's gonna care for it. Half the people are gonna be like, "Oh wait, this is boring. I don't want to have to. I can't run the same line over and over again. I'm gonna turn it off." That's probably what's gonna happen. People are gonna turn it off, and it's just gonna be like, "Well, you just spent half your development time on playing, making this good, I guess, or whatever." And then, I mean, it's gonna be kind of cool for multiplayer, I guess. But yeah, that's about it. The Dead Diary 2 is those are like 4 out of 10 right there. Rip. Once again, we learn more. We already learned what we knew, which was they did not add anything new. Yeah, that's about it. I'll see you guys next time. See ya.